Hi, this is Life in a Mustang, and today I'm bringing you a 2018 Mustang GT. And what I'm going with this today is, should you buy a 2018 Mustang GT in 2019? With the new year coming, there's definitely going to be upgrades, new features that maybe the 2018 does not have. Now with the 2019 coming, the 2018 halfway through the mid-year, say this car right here, it's a GT performance pack. It's lightning blue. Now compared to last year, prices of the Mustang GTs or Mustangs in general have went up 5.7% from the 2017s, bringing you from $33,000 for a base model up to around $35,000 for a base model. But you can get that 5.7 back. The 2018 Mustang GT, this one has the performance pack, comes with 460 horsepower, 420 pounds of torque. This one has the analog gauges. They're still digital in a way. It doesn't have the 12-inch LCD screen. Waiting on the newer, better models. If you're a Mustang owner, you're gonna change the parts in your car that you have. It's not gonna stay the same. Have you ever met a Mustang owner that has not modified their car? So say I buy the active exhaust. Great option. Definitely about the same price as the catback exhaust. But with the active exhaust, you get the sound you're looking for. But if you didn't buy it, you're gonna just upgrade it anyways. Now, if you didn't know, the 2018 Mustang GT is an actual 5-liter. It's like 5.035 liters, a little over last year's 2017 model that wasn't quite a 5-liter. The 2018 has direct injection used in conjunction with dual port injection. It has a higher rev limiter from about 7,000 to 7,500 RPMs. So for you high revvers out there hitting the broadband of your torque curve, this car is definitely going to get there. Now you can get there with a tune with many other cars, but this one's just going to give you a wee bit more, and especially with the two types of injection, the dual port and direct injection, the car is going to have more power. That's where it gets its 460 to 424 pounds of torque. It's a Revive engine. It's the Generation 3 motor of these Coyote engines, and it is spectacular. Now Ford did away with the 6-cylinder. Now they only have the 4 and the 8-cylinder. Now you can go for the 4-cylinder EcoBoost. It has its beefy 350 foot-pounds of torque, but horsepower between 2017 and 2018 model years stays the same with 310. Still a good bit of power compared to the older model. Now with some performance packs, you can get the magnetic ride. That's another option. I think it's a $3,000 or $4,000 option. The magnetic suspension is derived from the Shelby GT350, the GT350R. What that does is it sends every little signal that those shocks with a magnetic fluid inside of have to a computer. That computer analyzes it at 1,000 times per second to bring you the traction on the road that you're going to need in any given situation. Say you're going around a turn or you're hitting potholes. The computer is registering whether or not it needs to soften, harden, stiffen a certain shock in a certain corner. That way you can corner, because everyone knows if you lean into a corner, you corner better. And with magnetic shocks or magnetic dampening, you can achieve better roll through that turn. Now some of the changes with the Generation 3 engines is they have a 93 millimeter bore now, so the bore diameter is larger, giving you that 5.035 diameters. They use a lighter weight oil pan, which is made of an ABS plastic. It's maybe a little easier to change your oil now. Now the engine has better bearings to withstand a bit of a higher horsepower rating, because we all know if you're a Mustang owner, you're going to change something, and most of y'all want to go out and stick a supercharger, the Helion twin turbo kit. There's many ways to bring this car from its 460 to its 760 goal that I know all of you guys are looking for. So with the better bearings that it's going to have, it's got a better crank dampener on it. All around, it's a much more reliable motor, and especially with that dual port injection is what I'll call it. You can add more fuel, which always means more power. Now there's a few more options in interiors. You can get the Showstopper red, the midnight blue, or the tan interior. You can get Alcantara seats, leather seats, different stitching. There's also a carbon sport interior that you can pick up as well. So that's going to be in your instrument panel, your shift knob, and other accents through your doors inside of the car. Now they've done away with the dark saddle, the ebony, and the red line interior for the 2018 models. Also with this car, the front end is 20 millimeters lower, cutting down 20 millimeters on the fenders and on the hood. They've reworked the air to go around the tires and give you more downforce and not as much lift. The new splitter gives you about 25 pounds of downforce at 80 miles an hour, and the rear wing will give you about 80 pounds of downforce at 80 miles an hour. Now they've dropped the grabber blue and the white platinum from their color schemes, but as you can see, this new blue lightning, it does look to par. It's a darker color. I'm more fond of this color. Some of the new colors are Kona Blue, Orange Fury, and Metallic Tri-Coat. Some of the colors you can get are ebony cloth, dark ceramic cloth, ebony leather, ceramic leather, tan leather, ebony leather, showstopper red leather, midnight blue leather, ebony leather with Old Sweet Alcantara. Like I said, the colors are Orange Fury, Oxford White, Ignite Silver, Triple Yellow Tri-Coat, Race Red, Lightning Blue, Ruby Red Metallic Tri-Coat, Kona Blue, Shadow Black, Royal Crimson. Okay, with some of these buttons here on this one, you got your volume button up and down, selecting forward and rear, speaker mutes. You got your set cruise control, cancel, on, off. Over here is your selecting knobs. That's for stuff on the dash. You can select, click OK. Right here is your phone controls, speaker, mute, phone on and off. If you're just looking for power and comfort, the new interior is actually quite nice. As you can see here is the carbon fiber package that this one has with the 6-speed CD, radio, media, phone, music, mute, clock, menu, numbers for dialing. Right here's your different selections, another arrow key. And right here is engine start, hazards, traction control. We all know y'all will leave that on so you don't hit any crowds. And right here is how you control the steering stiffness, say whether you're in track mode. On the dash you have your tachometer going to 7,500 RPMs, oil. Right here is your infotainment. This is where you're gonna get every bit of information on your car. And your speedometer, which goes to 160 with your fuel gauge. Right here on the dash with the track package, you got your oil pressure and vacuum. So we got voltage, air fuel ratio, axle oil temperature, cylinder head temperature, inlet air temperature, engine oil temperature, voltage. Then we press the over button. We can go down here and select what we want to read. So our air fuel ratio is 14:1, axle temperature 127, cylinder temperature 210, air inlet temperature 93, engine oil normal, voltage. You can click over and get a gauge like that for it. Whatever you want to pull up on the screen. The 2018 Mustang, driving this car, the brakes are severely touchy. It's got the Brembo 6-piston brakes, and I can tell you that if you've ever pressed a brake pedal with a feather and made a car come to a stop, that's what these brakes are like. They are so touchy that my camera lady is complaining that I don't know how to drive this car, which I can say these brakes are ridiculous. If you were to ever get on a track, these brakes would do more than enough to slow you down in those corners. You could come right up on the corners with these Brembo 6-piston brakes and just feather onto these things and hit that turn with no problem. Now, the 6-speed transmission, 5th and 6th, the gears are so close together, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Reversed is forward and up. I don't know if they have some sort of lockout to make sure you don't do that while driving, but the gears are very close together. It's a 6-speed car. Right now I should be in 4th gear. I'm at 2,000 RPMs doing 40 miles an hour. It's raining outside. We're not gonna get crazy, but that's okay. Just the feeling of being inside of this car, these seats, the bolster holds you in so tightly. They wrap you around. Let's see if I can get into 5th gear right here. fifth gear. It pulls so good. We're doing 56 miles an hour, 55, right at the speed limit. And the gear changes and the clutch combined with this 6-speed transmission. Fourth gear is your 1-to-1 ratio on the 6-speed, but they just glide together like no other transmission or clutch I've felt before. Now they come with a twin disc clutch, and it bites where you need it to bite. The clutch lets off right at the top. It's kind of touchy, takes a little getting used to, but it's very soft. These brakes will probably be the biggest thing for people to get used to. But this car glides. The independent rear suspension, every bit of this car is 460 horsepower. Is just amazing. There's nothing like it. Alright, so my impressions on this car is they're absolutely amazing. The transmission takes a little getting used to. I'm not used to new cars. I don't have a new car per se. I have an older Mustang. But the power in this thing, the power band comes on strong. It stays through the entire curve. And for every little thing, yeah, the clutch is a little weird getting used to. The 6-speed transmission, the gears are super close together. But isn't that what we all put short shifters in our car for, is to get a shorter shift? Well, in this car you get that, the short shifting. It's totally amazing. I can pop this thing into third gear, fifth gear, third gear, drop it down to second. Dude. It does everything you want it to. We took this car on a few little turns, a little twists. It is raining out, but with these Michelin Sport tires, they grip the road. The independent rear suspension does its job. The drivetrain is solid in these cars. You definitely feel that 460 horsepower. And if you were to want to go out and buy a car in 2018, halfway through the year, with 2019 coming through, the 2018 Mustang is a sound option. They're going to be getting these cars out of their showrooms to make room for the new 2019s. And this is definitely a car that I would go out and I would buy right now, no questions asked. Who cares what they changed on the 2019? It's more than enough car for anybody. And especially with all the modifications that you can do to these cars. Like I said, you're a Mustang owner. You're not gonna keep it factory. So go do yourself a favor,